Tell me how the West was won. More like game one, but Golden State, they won. 121-114 is your final. Really a mile wide and an inch deep here for the Golden State Warriors. 6 guys in double figures, 30 assists as a team. As for the Lake Show, floundered a little bit down the stretch, a little bit more top-heavy in their approach. 33 for AD, 34 for LBJ, but they come up 7 short of the Golden State Warriors. All right, let's break it down with our best CBS Sports NBA analysts, Tim Doyle, Bill Ryder joining us as well. Guys, night one is in the books. Fantastic action across the board, an exciting one here out west. TD, your general reaction to this matchup? I know we were on the Warriors early here, and they proved positive. What'd you take away from this one?
The Warriors have an identity. Poole's going to come down, take wild threes. Steph Curry's going to have off nights from 3 like he did tonight. He took 8 of them, only banged down 2. If you had under 5.5, cash that ticket, for crying out loud. Thank you very much. But at least you know how they're going to play. They're going to spread you out. They're going to move the ball. Draymond Green is so much better when he has other shooters around him. They look like they had a style of play that they were adapted to. Bill, when I watched the Lakers, it was like, yo, bro, is it your turn? Okay, cool. I think it's my turn. Like, Russell Westbrook was trying to do his thing. They still only have 1 basketball in Los Angeles. Only 2 guys really showed up from the scoring standpoint. Guys that have donned Laker uniforms before, Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Besides that, Bill, I'm not worried that down the road they're going to figure it out. But tonight, Bill, they didn't figure it out.
No, it was an ugly beginning for the Lakers, and there are certainly reasons to be skeptical of what LA is going to be. They are old, however LeBron wants to define these guys. It's an old basketball team, and they're going to have some trouble finding enough shots for guys like Westbrook and Melo when he's on the floor. Rondo and Melo playing together is a weird combo. But the reality, guys, we all know this, is LeBron James' team, when they're basically new. I know he's still a Laker, but it's a totally new construction. Those teams start really slowly, go all the way back to Heat, back the first time he was there. Not 1, not 2, not 3. They started 9-8, almost fired Eric Spoelstra, made an NBA championship. He goes back to Cleveland. They're a 500 team in January. They make an NBA championship. They win the next year. The Lakers are always a work in progress when it's LeBron James and new guys, and it's going to be fits and starts for this squad for at least a month and probably longer.
Let's talk about those new guys, because it's going to be the low-hanging fruit all season, but it's a narrative for a reason. 10 players on the current roster, 30 or older. 5 players, 35 or older. We had a 2-point game heading in the fourth quarter, guys. Outscored with the Lakers 38-29, and a lot of that 29 was sort of garbage time buckets in the last 90 seconds. Did you sense a fatigue amongst this group?
I don't think so much of fatigue. I just think it's a matter of guys understanding, Joe, like, where do I go? I don't know anybody that said, oh, Russell Westbrook, that's a great fit with LeBron. Like, we watched the Bucks tonight. Did you watch Wara? Did you watch Connaughton? Did you watch the guys that fit, that play alongside of Giannis? You're like, oh, okay, those guys spread the floor. Russell Westbrook is one of the most ball-dominant players in the history of the NBA, and now he's playing with LeBron James. Like, who thought this was going to work? And now, like, they're on the court together. You want to know tonight, it didn't work. Westbrook took 13 shots. He only made 4. Carmelo Anthony, I feel like LeBron James, Bill, was so reluctant to play with Carmelo. Oh, you want to get on a banana boat? No problem. Go on vacation, drink wine? I love this guy. Play on the same team? Maybe not so much. Maybe this is the reason why that LeBron was so hesitant, because now that he has Carmelo, he's like, maybe I didn't want Carmelo.
I don't know. I mean, I actually, as I understand it, LeBron did want Melo, but he's also, LeBron, one of the worst GM decision makers in the history of the game. I mean, the guy's an amazing player. His decision making in terms of player personnel has always been a little bit off. And just talking to folks around this Lakers organization, all the names we're bringing up, you're right. I don't think it's going to work. Westbrook, Melo, a lot of these guys, they're the guys that LeBron wanted. Now, I've talked to a dozen guys around the league, executives, scouts, GMs, wannabe GMs, assistant GMs, and they're split down the middle. You find plenty of people who think, and have certainly convinced me, that this is not going to work in the long run. And there's an equal number of voices that will tell you, I don't know, it's LeBron James, it's Anthony Davis. They're going to put up 50 or 60 or 70 a night. Some of those guys are going to figure out. Some of those role players are going to get healthier. I don't think it was fatigue tonight. I do think it was a question of whether or not it's just this group trying to figure each other out, or they just don't work. And on a LeBron James team, it's going to take a while before we really know the answer.
Perhaps important to note that Carmelo Anthony, go back to the film, was not on the banana boat. He was on that vacation, late arrival. was not in the photo. People forget. Gentlemen, we do need to talk about LBJ here in year 19, Bill. 34, 11, and 5. Pre-game, we're talking about him sliding into this facilitator role. Now, to whom he facilitates is the question. But what did you make of LeBron's performance here in the opener?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. The guy is, about to be, 37 years old, 38 years old. He looks like he's 31. The first thing I thought is I wish I put money on him to be the MVP because he's going to be in the top 5. He's not going to be a facilitator when they need him to get buckets. He's going to do what he did, at least for part of that second half. He's going to take and off and hit shots. He's still LeBron, and we've seen this in the NFL with Tom Brady. I don't know when Father Time is going to pay attention to LeBron James. I don't know when he's going to actually age and have it impact him the way it's supposed to at the highest levels of professional sports. But that day has not come yet, and he is still one of the most impactful guys in the NBA. And if he's healthy and if he can be the guy we saw tonight, it's always going to make this Lakers team competitive because he is still, at least for my money, the best on earth because he's not that different than the guy from a couple years ago that was doing the same sort of things.
I don't know how you feel, Bill, but I am shocked that at this age, he's adding to the legacy. Like, what more could he keep on doing? Yeah. And you're right, Joe. He was on a path last year to win the MVP. And he was the same guy before last season complaining about after winning a championship how quick the season started. And it wasn't like his performance dipped. And then tonight, I'm thinking before the game, like he's going to be passing the ball. He's going to be getting guys involved. And, to my dismay, and I was able to cash this ticket, he goes out there and has a monster performance. I think he's just adding to his legacy. He's clearly in that conversation for GOAT, the greatest of all time. He's going to obviously have to win some more championships. But, man, Harry Met Sally said it best. I'll have what he's having.
And it is working and continuing to work. As much as this youth movement moves into the association, it's the same cast of characters at the top. We got to talk about Steph as well. Not the best shooting night, as you pointed out. You were sort of on that pregame as well. 21, 10, and 10, still messes around, gets a triple-double here for Curry. Obviously, he's the straw that stirs the drink there, and he's prolonged and been able to create the offense in the absence of Klay Thompson. But as they continue to wait for Klay to return, he really is this steadying force for this group. They got offensive contributions from just about everybody, but it starts and ends with Steph, TD. When you take a look at what he did tonight, maybe not having the full battery, what he was still capable to do and put his team out in front, get a win over the Western Conference favorite. What does that say about him and this team?
Well, I'll tell you this. If you really want to dive into basketball one-on-one, it's hard to do. Don't watch the basketball when the Warriors have the ball. Just watch Steph Curry. Watch the attention he gets from the other 5 defenders or the 4 defenders and the guy guarding him on the floor, that he actually makes everyone else's job so much easier because everyone's like, where's Steph? Where's Steph? And Bill, I don't know if you saw a really cool moment during the break there when Steve Kerr put his arm around his star player and said, hey, man, I've seen you a lot of times not at your best. Go out there and affect the game in other ways. What does he go out there and do? Have a triple-double. But the fact that he's on the floor, I'm not sure there's a bigger threat in the entire NBA of where's Steph, where's Steph, where's Steph. He just affects the game being on the floor. He wasn't at his best tonight, but he made other guys better. And the Warriors are back to playing a fun, spread you out, shoot the 3 type of basketball. And when they get Klay back, they're going to be even better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tim, you said it. I mean, Steph Curry hasn't had a triple-double since 2016. It's only the 8th of his career, so he did exactly what you're describing. He went out there and found a way to impact the game. And guys, the thing that struck me, and it's such a juxtaposition with the Lakers, is that even though Steph Curry did not shoot the ball well, and he was abysmal on his night from a shooting perspective, that entire team played the way Steph Curry plays. They moved the ball, incredible tenacity. I think it was 41 made shots on 30 assists. That's team basketball. That's ball movement. That's Steph Curry basketball. Even the shooting was sort of poor in the first half, but they found a way not to give up. Very impressive performance. Maybe not from Steph individually as a shooter, but you're right, Tim, the way he impacted the game and the way his entire team fed off that and responded in a very Steph Curry-esque fashion by just finding a way to get it done as a team.
We are talking about the reigning scoring champion who averaged 32 points per game a year ago. He's going to get his. Maybe it was an off night, but he gets the W no less. Gentlemen, fantastic stuff as always. Thank you for the insight. All right, taking a look at LBJ in season openers. Hasn't been good. Continues to not be good. Losses, both straight up and against the number, because when you're laying points and you lose, that's how the game goes. He was getting 3 against the Trailblazers back in 2018. It was a 9-point loss, but LBJ slow to start, figures it out. We'll see how it all plays out in the months to come.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.